Hello everyone, back with our 10 favorite movies that we watched this year for the first time. And I can't believe this is a movie that Amanda picked out that I cannot believe made it to my top 10.
I'm mad at you that it's not higher. It is
This is
inappropriate.
what we've been calling the Stinky Princess
What
movie.
we've been calling?
Yeah. Elixir of Love. Which do you want to explain the plot of Elixir of Love? We talked about this before we first got it.
It's beautiful. It's a masterpiece. It's a cinema
comedic
masterpiece.
comedic love story.
No, it's a cinema masterpiece.
Yeah,
It should be
yeah.
Criterion. It should
my
be a
gosh.
Criterion collection.
Yeah, but it's a Chinese comedy about a princess who absolutely stinks and trying to cure her stinkiness. That's the basic premise of the plot.
And then she falls in love.
And there's lots of fart jokes and like over the top like comedy to like it's just so exaggerated and ridiculous, and on paper looking at him like I'm gonna hate this movie, and even explaining it to you I'm like I should not like it. It sounds so stupid.
It's charming.
But exactly.
And delightful.
But that's what it pulls off. And it's so like its premise is like, oh my gosh, there's actually like a woman who has uncontrollable flatulence, and she's married to a guy who has no sense of smell, and it's like it sounds so stupid, but ends up being actually like adorable. Like she creates literal whirlwinds when she farts. Like it's absurd.
It's exciting.
It should not be, but I enjoyed it so much more than I thought. Like
It's
it
a great
actually,
movie.
it was an endearing movie, and
Yeah.
I don't know,
Yeah.
it was just bizarre.
Yeah, I pick out good movies.
Yeah.
So my number 10, we don't have a lot of these because Amanda...
You watched a lot of streaming.
I
this year.
watched a lot of Disney movies
Yeah.
in preparation for our
Trip to Disney.
our
Yeah.
magical trip to Disney.
Yeah.
So number 10 is Soul, which I didn't think I was going to like as much as I did, and it was a lot deeper and a lot more meaningful. And I have to watch something before I can force him to watch it. If it's like a streaming thing or it's a new thing, he's not going to watch it unless I like watch it first and make sure he's going to like it. But I made you watch that.
Yes, he did. Yeah, I like the jazzy
did like
kind of.
that.
Yeah, it didn't make my list, but I did enjoy it.
I thought it was
Like,
a different
Yeah.
direction, and I really liked it.
Oh yeah, and I'm much more into the jazzy feel than you are, I think so. My number 9 is one of two that I actually watched for the first time on LaserDisc. A Cary Grant I had not seen before. Every Girl Should Be Married. Just watched that recently.
I hate everything about that.
Romantic comedy.
I hate the name of it. I hate
Oh, of
the
course you do.
picture.
But
I
it's
hate
not
everything about that.
But it's not even. It's actually more. It's like very much more like. The guys are idiots kind of thing, like much more like feminist skew. It's more about a woman who falls in love with a guy who wants to be the eternal bachelor, and just like love story of her like trying to convince him, to be married, and it's all kinds of jokes about, about being married, and like all the women are like, at this big women's meeting, and like, you just think it's your decision. It's like, how do you always know we're going to propose to you? Because it was my idea. Like I planned it, and but it's very funny. It's very cute.
You're very cute.
It's very cute.
You're very cute. My number 9, I did not make you watch, I don't think. I would not like it as much if I was a boy.
Oh, was this the...
It's Turning Red.
Yeah, it was like the Angry Panda.
Which I think it's adorable.
I might watch it, yeah.
I think it's a great movie for girls. And I think, and boys too, but I think there's so much going on, like at that age for a girl, and just like becoming like a woman starting puberty, and I think that was a really good story, and it was very nice to see different cultures. I think Disney's been doing a good job with that.
My number 8 is another one that Amanda introduced me to.
I can't believe it's so low.
I watched a lot of good movies this year, but this is actually an Italian independent film with stars from all over the world, like Salma Hayek and John C. Reilly, all kinds of people, but Tale of Tales, the most generic, horrible title.
Shut up.
It is
Shut
Tale
up.
of Tales.
Shut up.
But the movie itself is fantastic.
It is.
And
It is
really,
a work of art.
It is a great, interesting kind of fairy tale film.
It's
I'll
like a
describe it
film
as.
festival film.
Yeah, it's multiple shorter fairy tale films
vignettes
together, yes, and they're interwoven together. It's not one then the other. Like they're attached to each other. They're related, and they interact. And it's just they're all fantastic. Like, and it really definitely is one of those things that it's not what you expect. You keep thinking, okay, this seems like a predictable fairy tale story. This is where they're going, and that's not where they go.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed that.
My number 8 is also one we don't have. This was Ratatouille. And I
did not like. I saw that like when it came out. I did not like that.
really? I
Yeah.
thought it was charming.
I did not
I
like that
enjoyed it so much.
I think I saw it in the theaters. I just didn't
Really?
click with me. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I loved it. Maybe because it was about food. And I
don't
like
know.
food.
Yeah, yeah.
I enjoyed it.
You also have this thing for French food too.
I love
You're
French
like,
food. Butter is like
I don't know.
my thing.
Yeah, I never liked that one. That surprises me. I didn't know you watched that this year.
Yes.
My number 6. Or wait, no, we're at 7, right? Yeah, my number 7.
Yes, number 7.
Is you just saw our pickups. We just got this for Christmas. Coco.
Coco.
Really enjoyed it once I watched the correct movie. Coco is very heartwarming. One that again was one of these I didn't expect to like, because most of these I've seen some of these, even some of the ones Man's talking about, and again, like I just don't like usually most of them. But this one surprised me. I love this one. That was very heartwarming. I cried in that one.
Yes. I don't want this to be on the list because Stefan's really happy it's on the list. So
I show Amanda a lot of older Hollywood pretentious movies, and you always kind of fight me, but then you end up liking them, like almost every time.
So the next
Almost
one I
every
have
time.
is a Criterion version because
Yes,
Stefan's a snob.
because it's one of the all-time comedy classics.
No, it's not. It
Yes.
happened one night. This is the Criterion version because Stefan is a snobby man.
Yeah.
This was funny. I didn't want it to be funny, but it was funny. But it's not. I like
charming,
I
it's
like
sweet.
Clark Gable being funny.
Yes, I like
rather
him
than
better.
being dramatic. And I
Yes.
was not expecting him to be as good as he was.
Yeah.
So
I actually think
surprising.
he's better in movies like this than he is in movies like Gone with the Wind. I do like him better
I've
in
never
comedies.
seen Gone with the Wind.
Jesus.
But
Christ. Maybe next year.
let me know if you've seen Gone with the Wind. Should I see it?
I think it's super overrated, but it is a must-see. So we'll get into... Not talking about Gone with the Wind. Getting all day. Number 6, another one I just got because Amanda had me watch this, and I was really uncertain, but I liked it because of the reasons that I think a lot of people disliked it. I liked it for the exact reasons people didn't like it. But Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness...
The Wanda movie.
The Wanda, yeah, that's number one. There are 2 reasons why people, like, everyone I talked to, why they did not like it. One, because it was more about Wanda and being a sequel to WandaVision than it was really about Doctor Strange. And 2, this was not filmed like a typical Marvel movie. This is a Sam Raimi movie. And I feel, even with the inclusion of, like, Bruce Campbell at the end, and, like, he said, like, even, like, Jake, who was so mad about that, I thought it was hilarious. And the joke worked because he was mad about that. It's really over, like, a punch at himself. I love Sam Raimi, and that's why this is great, because, again, if you're looking and you want, like, a Marvel movie, this is not what you got. You got a Sam Raimi Marvel movie, which is something different. And if you're not expecting it, I can see why people wouldn't like it. But I loved it because of why people didn't like it.
My number 6, I thought I was never going to watch. It's actually 4 movies. I had the flu very early last year,
yes, yeah.
in January.
Yeah.
And I was like completely brain dead, and I decided to watch The Hunger Games.
Good when you're
And
brain dead.
It actually wasn't as horrible as I thought it was going to be. It was definitely more unique than I thought. I still have not read the books. I don't know if I should read the books. Let me
It's
know
just
if I
like
should
YA
read the books.
fiction. Like, you're not 13. Like,
I mean, a lot of the books I read were YA fiction. That's
Yeah,
kind
I
of
guess,
what's
yeah.
out there now. But it really wasn't as bad as I thought. It definitely had problems, but it wasn't bad. It was enjoyable, and I enjoyed it. So there.
my number 5 is the only one of mine that we don't own, and we will own, because I freaking loved it. And you had me watch it, and I'm embarrassed to say how much I liked it, but I really liked it. But Cruella, I loved the style of it, the music, the high fashion, the feel of it, the look of it. I freaking loved that movie.
And I love that, like, I have to literally pull teeth to get you to watch
You do.
anything
Because
new.
a lot of times I usually don't like them.
Anything new. So I have to watch it first. I have to see if it's a Stefan movie,
Yeah.
and then I have to spend the next like month or two, like
Yeah.
trying to tell you how great it is.
Yeah.
And
Usually, if the date
forcing
of the
you to do
movie
it.
starts with a 20 instead of a 19, I usually.
But I've gotten you to watch a lot of movies.
Yes.
But it's,
Some I've
even Doctor
enjoyed.
Strange you didn't want to watch.
Yeah. Well, because I am really kind of tapped out on superhero
But
movies.
it's also Sam Raimi.
Yeah, that's
like
why I liked it.
There
Like
were
a lot
also
of these
reasons that you need to watch.
Like a lot of
new
these, the shows and the movies,
But
I'm so done with
Stefan
it. But, like,
is-
Sam Raimi.
Stefan
definitely.
is very difficult.
Yeah,
You're
I'm
very
picky.
you're very stubborn.
That's true.
What number are we on?
5.
No. 5 is another Mughal movie.
I feel victorious for this because this is one of my.
This I actually do enjoy a lot.
This almost made my top 100.
This actually I really enjoyed, and I was not
It's
expecting to enjoy.
fantastic.
And I do need to watch more Hitchcock
You do because they're amazing.
because I
and
actually do like Hitchcock.
You do. You just think you don't.
I think I don't because it just seems so pretentious.
And I like that
But
more over time. This one has
this
been
is-
crawled up my list.
Rear Window
Yeah.
crawled up your butt. But was it James Stewart? James
Yeah.
Stewart was fantastic. This was really well done.
Yeah.
And I love the female lead. She was not taking his crap at all. And I love that.
The way it's shot and like...
It's very artsy, which I did not like. You could tell Hitchcock is full of himself.
No,
but
no.
that's part of its charm, and that's part of the reason it's good.
I'm obsessed with watching the neighborhood and all the neighbors and like exploring all their lives and piecing it all together.
It was
like,
very interesting the way it was shot, and I think that was part of the art.
Yeah.
But I feel like Hitchcock takes it a little too far because it's a little bit too much about the art. But this was a great movie, and he does a really good job with tension.
That is a downright perfect movie.
He does a really good job with all that, and so I would recommend this movie.
Yes. There you go. So you like Hitchcock more than you think. All right, my number 4 is a documentary, In Search of Tomorrow, the definitive documentary on 80s science fiction films. It's 300 minutes, huge things, the same ones they did like 80s action movies and 80s horror movies, 80s sci-fi movies. I think this was, I'm an affinity for sci-fi, so this is my favorite so far that they've done. But just fantastic, and this was so fun to watch and explore, and it's so long that it's gonna be fun to go back and watch like favorite segments because it's hours and hours.
Yeah, I don't think I can. I don't have the attention span for that.
But it's amazing.
So my number four.
Number four.
Four. I know numbers. Is Doctor Strange.
Nice.
I really enjoyed this, and I think I enjoy it most because it's a different direction for Marvel that I think they would be smart to take. It reminds me a lot of Moon Knight in that it's that like kind of horror but kind of funny, kind of like dark humor, and I think that's the direction they need to go because they need to reinvent themselves, and I think it's not going to last if you keep trying to do the same thing with new people. But
you've also been getting more into horror comedy over the years, like your Housebound and stuff like that. Like
it's my Long Island.
Yeah.
My Italian Long Island.
Every Long Island Italian I've ever met like B horror movies and like comedic horror. Everyone. It's a weird.
And it also has the dude from Serenity.
Yes. Yeah.
Which I love. He's such a great actor. But everybody in this was fantastic, and you can tell that like everyone got along with Sam Raimi. Like everyone's having a great time. Bruce Campbell's having a good time. Maybe too good of a time. But really good movie.
My number 3 from LaserDisc. We have The Mouse That Roared.
I want to watch that.
I think you'll actually like this one. Like Peter Sellers' ones, I think it's...
I saw the very end of that.
And it's hilarious. It's Peter Sellers, of course, playing multiple roles. And he plays a fictional... it's a fictional country that decides to save their economy. They should go to war with the United States and lose. And it's sort of like a commentary on what happened with Japan, and like it's fascinating if you like really understand like what's going on with the plot and the political commentary. But even just on a surface level, the comedy is fantastic. It's one of the funniest movies I've ever seen, and I'm surprised that like this was one of the few Peter Sellers movies I hadn't seen before. So
an even funnier movie.
Oh my gosh!
It's called Elixir of Love.
Is that your number 3?
That is my number 3, and this is such a beautiful, heartwarming story.
You put the farting princess over a rear window?
Yes.
that tracks.
Yes.
That tracks.
This was so well done, and it was so happy, and just like a great time. A great time for everyone. You laughed the whole time. You did laugh the whole time, but it was great.
It's so silly.
I wish that it was easier, and I wish it was more accessible to get things like this. It is more accessible than it ever was, but there's so many great comedies from all over the world, and it's so hard to like find like what should I watch from Brazil? What should I watch from here?
Yeah, you just get a long list.
You just have to kind of figure it out. And this was such a surprise, and I wasn't sure about it, but it over-delivered what I thought.
It was very cute. It was cute.
It was fantastic.
My number 2 is Hoffman with Peter Sellers. Fantastic dramatic comedy that I think is one of his most underrated movies. It's brilliant because it works to both his strengths. He's a great comedian and an underrated dramatic actor, and I think this kind of plays to both of those strengths. And it's about a controversial winter spring relationship, and just fascinating. One I wouldn't want to spoil any of, but this is a brilliant movie. I love this one so much.
I watched like 5 minutes and I thought it was stupid.
I love it.
My number 2, and this is not just number 2 because it's such a great movie, which it is Coco. But it's also my number 2 because I feel vindicated
Yeah.
because you were wrong.
If you
and
don't
I
know what
was
she's
right.
talking about, watch our Christmas pickups video, our holiday hauls, because
And
there's a story behind this movie.
it makes it so much sweeter because you were wrong
Yeah,
and
know,
I was
know.
right.
You get so much joy from
And
being right.
there was proof, physical proof, and
Okay.
a witness.
I know.
So that makes me happy. And this was a great movie.
Yes,
This was
it
a
was a
very
very good
heartwarming
movie.
movie. I wasn't expecting it to be as good as it was.
Yeah.
The family dynamic was great and so relatable on so many horrible, horrible levels. But I loved it.
My number one, I don't have because it's not out yet. It's still in theaters, and that's why I can't really talk much about it because it's just came to theaters very recently. But Avatar: The Way of Water, very shocking that it's my number one. I didn't think it was going to be in my top 10 for the year, but I thought it was significantly better than the first one. I think everything that I thought was weak in the first one, I think was improved in this one.
Unobtainium?
Yeah, that's the thing. The writing was better. Like, everything was better, and everything that was great about the first one was still great about this one. Like, so it really surprised me after all these years that I enjoyed it that much. I actually like it significantly more than the first one, and I'm looking forward to part 3. It was actually my favorite movie that I watched for the first time this year.
Oh,
So, and you did not see. I went with my sister to the theaters, so you have not seen that yet.
I have not seen it.
But yeah,
it
was,
wouldn't matter if I had, because number one was always going to be number one.
I know what your number one was going to be. Yeah,
I feel
you
patriotic.
were like, in love. Yeah.
Because it's Italian. It is the tale of tales. I don't know what your problem is with the title of this.
I think it's so
beautiful.
generic. Like,
I think you're generic. Okay.
it's like you have an action movie, the fighter who fights. Like,
I love
like-
that. It's
I don't
simple. It's easy to remember. It's poetic.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
great. But this, I wasn't sure about this. This was another one of those random ones that Amanda ordered a foreign movie and was like, but it was amazing. This should have won awards at film festivals. It's so beautiful.
It was good.
And I loved that. I thought I knew. I'm usually really good at predicting stories and
Yeah.
where the writer is going. Once I know the writer, I'm usually really good.
Yeah.
I predicted God
She
of War.
has, like, if you
I'm-
watch
I'm
Red Letter
good.
Media, she has, like, the Rich Evans ability, where she can just, like, she knows
If I
what's
know
going to happen.
if I know if I can
Yeah,
tap into the
yeah.
director and the writer,
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm good.
But this one, you were wrong.
But this one, you're like, I think I know what you're doing,
Mm-hmm.
and they were like, you don't, and like the last one, oh my gosh. I thought the first one was going to be my favorite because John C. Reilly's in it and Salma
That was my
Hayek,
least
and
favorite of the 3 stories that are
The
entwined.
second one was really
You
disturbing.
didn't. I know you didn't like. But I like that one. I know which one you're talking about too.
These
I know.
are
the
very
more creepy sexual one.
these are very adult.
Yeah.
Which I did not think was going to be.
It's much more like original German versions of Grimm Fairy Tale versus Disneyfied. It's
they're-
much more like, you know.
They're very disturbing.
Yeah.
In very different ways. But really, really interesting and so artfully and beautifully done and amazingly written. And the third one just, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Third one.
Highly recommended.
But that was my favorite.
Recommend it more.
No. But let me know what your favorite movie was.
Yeah, we'd love to see. But again,
Because
you know,
I need suggestions, especially if it's a foreign movie.
yeah,
'Cause
and
Amanda loves
older
foreign
movies. It's not just movies that came out in the last year or two. Like, you know, whatever. What's it? Was new to us
I'm not
this
watching
year.
Gone with the Wind.
It's not that long.
Yes, it is.
We'll do Gone with the Wind, and then
Cleopatra.
10 Commandments, and then 10 Commandments, then Cleopatra, and then like South Pacific. I'll be up for like 24 straight hours. And then
You might
then
not
you'll kill me.
survive. You might not survive that.